Welcome to this audio introduction for The Meat Kings Incorporated of Brooklyn Heights, a new play written by Hannah Doran, directed by George Turvey, and now showing at the Park Theatre in Finsbury Park, London. The Meat Kings Incorporated of Brooklyn Heights won the Papatango Playwriting Prize in 2024. The script was selected from a record-breaking 1,589 submissions and is Hannah Doran's debut play. Set in modern-day America, the play carves into the dark underbelly of the country's anti-immigration policies and the brutal sacrifices that drive the pursuit of prosperity. The story unfolds in Caffarelli & Sons, an iconic New York butcher's. Paula, the straight-talking boss, is fighting to keep her family business alive. A few of her cutters find themselves pitted against each other for a job, each one determined to secure their future. The Meat Kings all takes place in the sterile cutting room of Caffarelli & Sons. The audience is seated on all four sides around the rectangular space, which measures about 6 meters by 5. In each corner, short red walkways lead to 4 doorways. One leads to the fridge, another to a back room, one leads to the front of the shop, and the last is the exit. Hanging across each doorway are PVC strip curtains, thick, bendy and semi-transparent. They flap lightly as the characters rush in and out. On the floor are greying cream tiles with patches of damp running between the cracks. In the centre, 2 immaculately clean long stainless steel tables stand on the diagonal, parallel to each other with enough room to walk between the two. Each table has a thick worktop and thick legs. One of the tables has metal drawers on one end and sliding metal trays on the other. Each table is prepped with generous slabs of glistening beef, white plastic cutting boards, an assortment of knives, and a box of black latex gloves, which they all wear for cutting. There is a thin stainless steel shelf on the bottom of each table, packed with an assortment of plastic kitchen tubs, big steel tubs known as gastros, cleaning spray, and huge rolls of paper towels, and a coloured assortment of cleaning rags hanging over a bowl to dry. At one end of the table is a large steel drum lined as a bin. It clangs when heavy objects are thrown in. At the other end is a stainless steel trolley with various trays and dishes, and there's a wooden broom propped up. The fluorescent light from above bounces off the gleaming tables. 2 long strip lights hang from chains above, caged in metal. Also hanging from chains are garish raw cuts of meat, a pig split in half, each half hanging separately, and another half pig with the back legs gutted and cleaned out. In the corner on the back wall is a metal shelf with separate cubbies. There are hooks below packed with everyone's coats, canvas backpacks, white butcher's jackets, caps and aprons. There's also a small radio behind one of the curtains that hums out reggaeton music, which all the men dance to. There's a team of 5, 3 men and 2 women. Almost all of them wear loose jeans and sturdy supportive trainers for working on their feet all day. Over clean white butcher's jackets, each wear a bright red apron, embroidered with Caffarelli & Sons in bold white script, established in 1925. Paula is the boss. She's all toughness but with heart. She hires people who have had a rough time and are looking for a second chance. She's in her 50s, a sturdy white woman around 5'8". Her complexion is ruddy, her brow furrowed, and her thick brown hair is short, ear length. Paula observes and gives firm orders with her hands on her hips. Instead of trainers, she wears thick-soled black lace-up boots. David is the head butcher and the longest-serving member of staff. He's an efficient, lanky white guy in his late 30s, with light eyes and an even light brown stubble. His nose is prominent and slightly flat, giving his face real character. David moves with quick but calm precision when he's working. There's an unhurried cool about him. David wears a red Caffarelli & Sons cap, turned backwards most of the time. When he steps out to serve a customer, he flips it smoothly forwards, all part of his rhythm. David's closest friend is Billy, one of the apprentices. Billy is a hulking alpha sort, 5'10", in his early 30s. He's of mixed American and Dominican heritage and has light brown skin and heavy dark stubble. Billy is very well groomed. He's got a fresh fade, razor sharp at the sides and cut close on top. Small sparkling studs catch the light in both ears, and he wears a thick gold chain. Billy is the only worker to not wear a white jacket. He ties the apron straight over a fitted black vest, showing his huge muscles and tattoo sleeve. From shoulder to wrist winds a ghostly-looking woman, her eyes all white. Billy always wears a fitted vest or t-shirt with very loose dark jeans tucked into the tongues of his open Timberland boots, giving him a heavy, confident strut, but his darting eyes are always assessing the situation. His rival is JD, or Dreamer, as they nickname him due to his visa status and golden retriever-like demeanour. He's in his mid-20s, from Mexico. JD has thick black hair, which is wavy on top and closely shorn, razor-sharp on the sides. His hair flops over a bandana he ties round his forehead. JD has a light moustache and goatee and a warm, innocent smile. He's shorter than the other guys, but is muscular and lean. He seems bigger without Billy flexing over him. He's a great dancer, lithe and smooth. His green and cream trainers are cool, box fresh, and when he's off duty he wears an oversized black Wu-Tang Clan sweatshirt. At the beginning, JD seems a bit uncouth, trying to keep up with the rough banter, kissing the meat, waggling his tongue, but he is respectful, passionate, and eager to please, especially when it comes to T. T is Billy's cousin, straight-talking, hard-working, and the newest member of the team. She's also the only female cutter. She's in her 20s, a self-assured, beautiful girl with olive skin and thick, long black hair, neatly plaited in 2 braids. T has full lips and white teeth, which we rarely see as she's reluctant to smile. Her eyes are sharply lined with a flick of black liner. Even in a butcher's jacket, T has a cool look. Thin gold hoop earrings, baggy jeans, and fitted t-shirts that flash her stomach. She has a smattering of small birds tattooed on her wrist and upper arm. Throughout the story, the room is a flurry of activity and busy hands. The 4 cutters chop large cuts of deep burgundy meat or tie up pale pork bits in string. They each wear a thick rubber glove on their non-dominant hand, known as a cutting glove. Reggaeton music is blasted out during transitions. During this time, the room darkens, lit only by the fluorescence from above or occasionally red light. The team dance together, skimming shoulders, boosting morale, and spinning on the slick, clean tables. When they go out front to talk to customers, sometimes a muttering can be heard. The cast and creatives are as follows. Paula is played by Jackie Clune, JD by Marcelo Cruz, Billy by Ash Hunter, T by Mithra Malek, and David by Eugene McCoy. The Meat Kings Incorporated of Brooklyn Heights is written by Hannah Doran and directed by George Turvey. The designer is Mona Camille. Lighting, Bethany Gupwell. Composer and sound design, Asaf Zohar. Movement direction by Rachel Nanjon-Jo. Costume, Natalia Alvarez. And dialect coach, Caitlin Stiegemoller. The show runs from the 4th to the 9th of November at the Park Theatre in Finsbury Park. Performances are at 7:30 p.m, with matinees at 3 p.m. on Thursdays and Saturdays. The Meat Kings runs for around 2 hours and 15 minutes, including an interval. It is recommended for ages 12+. Please note this production contains butchery, references to prison, suicide and illness, discussions of racism and xenophobia. It also contains strong language and references of a sexual nature. Please note this production does not use real meat. If you have any other queries or needs, please call the Park Theatre box office on 0207 870 6876, Monday to Friday, 10 till 6, or email boxoffice@parktheatre.co.uk. You can also book online at parktheatre.co.uk. This introduction is brought to you by Megan Smith as part of an audio description association pilot to make stage productions accessible where a full audio-described performance is not available. Please note, I'll now describe some visually significant plot points that contain significant spoilers. If you'd prefer not to hear them, please stop listening now. Act 1. During the opening moments, there's a flood of red light. The faint outlines of Billy, JD, and David loom behind the plastic. They each burst into the cutting room from different directions, dancing, grinding, and popping with their arms in the air. After Billy says, "You know I've got you," David leaves Billy alone. Billy steals 2 wrapped steaks and sticks them in his bag. T's catcher's mitt, or baseball glove, is a deep, battered tan leather. When David pops to the fridge, leaving Billy alone with the accounting books, Billy furiously starts scribbling and correcting them. When JD pops out to get the Wagyu beef, there's a rough scratching sound. T quickly rubs JD's knife with sandpaper. When he returns, JD hacks through the Wagyu, butchering it, and then his finger. When JD makes his confession about his work visa situation, neither he or T realize David is listening behind the plastic. When Billy tells T to take it or take these, he's referring to more stolen meat. Act 2. JD and T dance together a slow reggaeton, JD swaying and grinding his hips. He tries to grind up behind T, but the music cuts out when she pushes him away. When JD tells T he has a gift for her, he asks her to close her eyes, which she does. He pulls out a gift bag with a pink bow from his backpack. He paces around, cringing. He's too embarrassed, and he stuffs the gift bag into one of the cubbies, then his jacket in front of it. He then hands her pig trotters instead. After T gives Billy a dressing down, Billy blinks back tears. He then proceeds to pour blood over T's head from the offcuts as she bends down to get a tray. David takes Billy's phone from him and dials a number when they're discussing JD. When JD is working nights by himself, he sprays everything down and moves the gastros while dancing to his reggaeton. The first knock at the door is T, dressed in his Wu-Tang sweatshirt with a coffee. They kiss. The sweatshirt is what he references when he says, "This looks nice on you." When immigration burst in, they surround JD from each direction. They're all dressed in black, faces covered with bulletproof ICE vests. They each wield a truncheon. A balletic fight ensues with JD rolling underneath the tables while they grab at him, throwing him to the ground. He curls up into the fetal position on the table as they round on him like a rabid pack of wolves about to tear into their prey. When we hear the clang of truncheons against metal, the room is flooded with red light. They smack the table as though it's JD's body. He stands on the table, pulsing and rippling in pain, feeling each blow. He moves in slow motion, as if falling through the air. When JD collapses, they drag his limp body off by one leg, like a slab of meat. At the end, when Paula is clearing out JD's stuff, she finds the gift bag he stuffed in the corner for T. David passes through when she asks, "Do you know what this is?" She opens it, and it's the baseball glove he promised to mend for T. Paula puts it back in the bag and leaves it on the table under a burning light. This is now the end of the audio